Hey, how's everyone doing? Guess we'll do a little nightcap. As I was sitting there trying to be prepared to sleep, the Holy Spirit spoke something to my spirit. And as always, as I've been teaching many people, it's all about timing and it's all about being obedient to the will of God, even when you don't understand where His will lead you. So today we're going to be in Proverbs chapter 23. And what we're going to deal with is the purpose of your position. The purpose of your position. Because with many of us, God has strategically positioned certain things, certain events, certain outcomes in our lives for certain reason. And for many of us, we we get mad at whatever happens and we try to point the finger at the people, but we fail to look at the man that is God, that knows what he's doing, why he's doing it, and the cause of what he wants to get out of it. And for many of us, as I've been saying for the past 2 months, we've been put in certain position that has really tormented our soul. It and for many of us, it has broken us down in tears. We have looked at life in a way that we have never seen life before. We and many of you heard me say it. We live in a time that saying what you won't do or what won't happen or what God will do, those days are gone because we fail to realize that God puts every idle word to the test. And the reason, if we bear with the little worldly language, uh, the reason that God is going all in, and many of you feel it, is because some of you don't know about this world to come. The horrors, the heartbreak, the torture, the terror, and y'all sitting around arguing uh who Israel is. Is it the country or the people? Because see, I'm telling y'all something. You just got to know God. Do you honestly think if God had a covenant, every covenant God has, he keeps? Do you honestly think that Israel, the country, would be as tore up as it is if God was protecting it? Look what's being protected and use your common sense. The people. The country getting tore up, but the people. But y'all believe y'all want to believe that proves that you have no relationship with God. And that's why we got to talk about it. You got to understand the purpose of your position. And a lot of times we've refused to acknowledge why God allows us to get into certain situations and into certain mishaps because we think we already know who God is. Proverbs 23:1. It says, when thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligent what is before thee, and put a knife to thy throat, if thou be a man given to appetite. Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Labor not to be rich, cease from thy own wisdom. So here we see that Solomon is giving out more wisdom. And the particular wisdom of God Solomon is giving out, it deals with positioning. And the wisdom is when you sit down to eat with a ruler, consider carefully what is before you. See, we got to understand the rich just don't do nothing just because they rich. It always something behind what they ask for. So here we say that Solomon is basically saying when you are in the presence of someone that you consider at a higher esteem than you, be careful what you take from them. In this case, he said, think about what's at that table. Which and just to make it simple, let's use me for example. Solomon was basically telling him, when you see somebody invite you somewhere, you partake of what somebody says, put a knife to your throat, if that be a man given to appetite. So let's take me for example once again. If somebody considered me at a higher esteem than themselves, you need to consider what you learn from me. Because see, if I say something that you ain't never heard before, or if I release revelation that you realize to release, then if you just coming because you starving what I got to say, he said, put a knife to your throat. If thou be a man given to appetite, which means why am I really listening to what I'm listening to when it comes through him? Are you listening to grow? Are you listening to convict? Are you listening to analyze so you can dissect and point a finger? Because all those things plays a part when you're trying to get a relationship with God. You got to think about why a person say what they say. And even me, I say a lot of things, but I know why I'm saying it. And most of the time, I'm trying to provoke somebody else's thought, provoke their knowing, provoke their wisdom, provoke their mind, because spiritually, I'm after what's inside of you, not what's next to you. Not what you got in your hand. I'm after that treasure that God put in you, but because you're giving to appetite, you miss what I say. And if you miss what I say, that means you didn't pass the test for that session. I'm sitting here and someone called me today and I was saying something about in 4 days God was going to do the impossible. I done already had 3 people that called me telling me the impossible that happened in their life. But watch this. I'm going to tell you what mistake every person made. What every person made. Because I'm listening. If the Bible says now faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence not seen, that means you believe in God for the impossible. But if your faith ain't at the level to receive what you want, you're going to question what you got. That's the mistake all of them made thus far. You questioning what you prayed for. You're going to be like Abram. You're going to walk around in your blessing, not knowing it's your blessing, because now you on God, because you questioning the impossible that was made possible by you thinking it's impossible. Do you know the reason the sun ain't never failed? Because when God said, let there be light, and light appeared, he didn't question where the material nor where the light came from. He spoke it, it stood there. Somebody asked me a question earlier today. They said, do God have an ego? It would think he do when you read this, but it's all about confidence. Because God knows when he say something, it's going to happen, and he ain't going to question it, and it's going to be there till he says otherwise. That's why he said ain't no jot nor tittle go fall until his word been fulfilled. See how I got many of you questioning yourself? Because I tell you something impossible going to happen, and you saying it in faith, but when it happened, you questioning your own faith. You still ain't made it. Because if you got to question what God gave you when you ask for it without questioning him, then you lose what you got because you really didn't have faith in him. Verse 3 said, be not desirous of dainties, for they are deceitful meat. See, some of y'all was desiring certain things, but when it came to you, it came in deceit. It came in deceit because you were deceitful. See, a lot of y'all ask God for something in your heart, but your mind was on something else. See, that's why it's dangerous to be in a relationship and expect something out of somebody that you don't even do. How can you ask people for transparency, honesty, and communication, and you don't even do it? Be not desirous of dainties. You want transparency, you want honesty, you want communication, but when it's time for you to give it, you overlook it, explain it away, or don't even acknowledge it. So now God got many of you in a position that what you asked for, it came in a deceitful package. Because oftentimes God gonna give you what you want, but he gonna show it to you how he sees you. So when you understand your position and what you're in right now, the position that many of you are in, if you look around you, that's the position how God sees you. The question is, how do you proceed in that position? Do you proceed in God, or do you proceed in your emotions? Y'all hear me talk? Brother Hubbard ain't got no family. He ain't got no place to stay. But what you see around me and behind me, that's right where I want you. You might see the ministry side behind me, but watch this. That's what you see in front of me too, because that's what I'm doing. And see, a lot of you looking behind, trying to go forward, but you out of position, so you don't know what's going on. That's why I be telling you, I'm no fool to nothing that goes on around me. God either warn me in a dream, he'll show me a vision, or he'll say something to me. You never catch me off guard. Believe that. To catch me off guard, I have to be asleep. And even then, I ain't even sleep. Because the slightest sound, I'm up and ready. So here, you got to understand why many of you praying, God, why they here? God, why this happened? God need to get your attention. And sometimes to get your attention, God takes away what you depended on, what you love, what you took for granted, and what he gave you. Those are 4 things. It always works. It's universal. Number 4 is universal. North, south, east, and west. Universal. Which means those 4 things cover the totality of your being. That's why he says, labor not to be rich. Cease from thy own wisdom. See, a lot of y'all, God didn't allow things to happen, and now you trying to figure out God. I think I was talking to somebody else. I said, don't try to figure God out. I said, you'll lose your mind trying to figure out. I done already did it for you. Because I sit here and I think about a situation before the situation happened to have an answer for the situation, for the situation, for the situation, for the situation. That's why my mind don't turn off. But the reason I turn it off, because I understand how my mind works. When you got a constant communication with God, your mind gonna constantly run because God is constantly talking. He may not be talking to you. So you got to tap in to find your position in God. Labor not to be rich. That's why a lot of your prayers ain't answered. God, make me a millionaire. God, I want this. God, I want this. God don't care about money. You care about money. That's why he stay in your pocket. Because he let you know it ain't about money with me. Cease from thy own wisdom. Stop trying to figure God out. Stop trying to figure out who did what to who and how long they've been doing and this and that. That's the devil way of trying to burn you out. And what happened, you will come to a conclusion that whatever sounds good to you in your flesh, that's what you're gonna roll with. Listen here. And I've been hearing it a lot the past 2 weeks, maybe 3. No, I'm gonna take that back. Because a lot of times I talk to y'all how God talked to me. I'm precise. I've been hearing it for a month and a half. I don't want nobody daughter. I don't want nobody wife. I don't want nobody girlfriend. Listen here. I got enough problem trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with a lazy boy, that lazy son of mine. But because you don't know your position in God, and you really don't know the people that sit before you, you entertain thoughts that don't even make sense. I said, well, who, God? See, that's where maturity in ministry comes. You don't need to know. Just understand you don't need to know. You know why I don't need to know? Because God know me in the flesh as well as the spirit. I ain't no pushover. That's why certain things I know to do is wrong. I don't do them because to do them, I know what I do to myself. And I done came too far to be caught up with worldly gossip, worldly lies. That's why y'all remember when I first started ministry. If you've been following me, I used to go back and forth with people. I don't care about that. They just when I look at people who's talk like that, I don't talk to dummies. I talk to people who got sense. And if they ain't got sense, I try to give them some sense. And if you don't want the sense I gave you, then I don't need to talk to you. Verse 5. Will thou set thy eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven. Eat thou not the bread of him that have an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. If you think that I did anything wrong to any of you, why take what I got? Why listen to me? Why ask me questions? So if you think I'm evil, if you think I'm satanic, if you think I'm of the devil, why entertain me? Because you are of your father, the devil. So you got to look at me to understand how to get the devil out of you. Stop desiring what people want to know. Stop desiring answers that you can't even question. Stop questioning for answers that many of us don't want. Stop looking for things that don't even exist. Those are the steps to a reprobate mind. I told y'all we're in a season of reprobate mind. And a lot of y'all falling for the crumbs because you don't want the whole cookie. Watch this. Verse 7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, said he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. Y'all got a lot of sour stuff in your heart against people, against your family, against me. Because you don't love yourself. Because you can't accept because you can't accept that the person you portray is not you. And so for a lot of us, God is breaking that false image that we have to people. It's a shame to be a man that's at his most vulnerable point and can't even find nobody to be vulnerable with. It's a shame to be a woman that want to pour out their heart, but you don't even have nobody to pour out your heart to. It's a shame to be ready for ministry, but don't even believe in the ministry in you. We fail because many of us can't be who we need to be when we don't need to be who we need to be. See, it's something when you can't break down to tell the one you love what's really going on, because they're going to turn around and use it against you. It's really something when you can't do what you want to do for fear of doing it, that it won't be received. That's why a lot of y'all in the position that you in. See, some of you gonna pass and some of you gonna fail. I was talking to my friend the other day. We was talking about this woman he liked, and he came and told me what the woman said. Listen here, that's a man that can come to another man and be just as vulnerable as he want to be, because that man ain't gonna look at him and call him a sissy, a chump, a hen pet. That's why I said I don't accept lies in this season. And I'm stop getting our hall passes. We got to grow up. But how can we grow up when the person that we're with are not willing to grow? And if they're not willing to grow, they don't know how to grow. And if they don't know how to grow, it's because they like the way they are. Watch this. So what you thinking about in your heart? It's evil, ain't it? A little leaven the whole lump. The morsel which thou hast eaten shall thou vomit up, and lose thy sweet words. Speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy word. See, don't y'all be calling him like you want to talk about God, but yet and still you trying to see what I know about what I know about what I know, or what I don't supposed to know about. Listen here. Because y'all haven't been around people who really anointed, anybody that is connected to me, I know whatever going on in your life, when, where, how, and a lot of times that right down to the time. Don't that surprise me? Don't you understand that it surprise Christ? Speak not in the ears of a fool, for he would despise the wisdom of that word. You see, don't be around here testing God. If God had done something for you, don't try to test me to see if God really did it for you. Because it's only one thing that God don't tell me, and two things for sure. And number three, it ain't your business, so you'll never know. Just keep assuming you smarter than God. Just keep assuming that you got the heart of God. Just keep consuming that God gonna allow it to keep going on. Do you know? See, you don't know how many people I can sit here and see God finna do something to them, and I sit there and intercede. I said, "No, God," but they know what they're doing. I said, "Yeah, but no, God." I protect plenty of people, and they don't even know they're being protected, because some of the things you do is an insult to God, and you doing it thinking you smarter than God. This just like a person that'll lie and then say, "God bless you." You using his name in vain. Oh, shoot. Remove not the old landmark, and enter not into the fields of the fathers. For their Redeemer is mighty, he shall plead their cause with thee. See, whatever in you that God need to get out of you, I can't do it if you don't want a relationship with God. I'm only going to tell you what it is to help you, and I don't tell you nothing to help myself. But you allow the enemy to think I say things to say things so you won't say things, if that makes sense to you. I'm the one pleading the case because a lot of you, listen here, if you ever get a chance to experience God on another level, do you know angels takes to heaven every prayer you pray? And the place where there's kept, they're kept off to the side. Like diagonally from the throne. Why is it diagonal? I ain't gonna tell you, but it means something to God. Okay, I tell you, he just said tell him. It's diagonal because if he look at any time, whatever you pray for, he'll give it to you. That's where the suddenly come in. When y'all heard me talking about the season of suddenly, all he got to do is look. Because when you connected to God's spirit and the angel has your prayers, that look, they already know what's in mind and you get what you asked for. That's why it's diagonal. Y'all didn't know that, did you? Perhaps if you try to get a relationship with God instead of trying to get a relationship with the next man, the next woman, look for the next job, you will know things that you need to know because this world to come ain't going to be spiritual. They're going to take your newborn babies and rape them like they grown adults. It ain't going to be nothing that you can do about it. Then they're going to take you and rape you too. And just for fun, they're going to make you rape each other. I don't want nothing nobody got if it ain't attached to God. And even then, I got to look at it funny because it can be attached to God, but it can smell like Satan. Apply thy heart unto instruction, and thy ears to the words of knowledge. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. Thou shalt beat him with the rod and shall deliver his soul from hell. That's why a lot of us in the position, you notice I said us too, in the position that we in. He want to beat us bad enough that we see that we ain't really who we all cracked up to be. But for some of us, the weight of the world is more than the beating of God. So we'll lie our way into bondage because we really don't want to be free. Because to be free, you have to really look at yourself and say, damn, I'm messed up. That's the best way to put it. You don't like correction. So if you don't like correction, you don't understand the instructions that I say sometimes. If I tell you time is crucial to God in this season and you still take your time, that's why you get the rod. Some of y'all late now. He said, I ain't playing. That's why you get the rod. It said, my son, if thy heart be wise, my heart shall rejoice evermore. Yea, my reign shall rejoice when thy lips speak right things. Let not thy heart envy silvers, envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day long. See, y'all sitting around here looking at how people being treated in the world, and that's what you want. You looking at how you want to be treated by how somebody else treating somebody else. That's envy. And that's why you a sinner, because some of you done broke your vows going to search for something that you may have already had, but because you didn't go to the workshop and ask God, hey, I need the manual on Brother Hubbard there. Let me see how he operated. His clicker ain't clanking. His arm ain't straightening. His word ain't communicating. Tell me what's going on. Y'all don't do that. You know what y'all do? Yeah, that nigga don't know how to talk to you, baby. Come on over here, you know. You know them sweet words. And what y'all do? Your panties just come on off. They drop like dice. Hot knot 7. Boy, you so crazy. Watch this. I just happened to see a clip of that done Carisha Please, that city girl, and her that Moneybag Yo girl Ari was on there. She asked her about Moneybag cheating on her. She left him alone. Now she was mad. She left him alone. She said, "But I was at home thinking." She said, "We done been together this long." She said, "The reason I decided to take him back, we done already built something. Yeah, he cheated on me, but if I try to start over with somebody else, they may cheat too. So I'd rather give him another chance and see what happens than go out there and I'm going through 10, 15, 20 different men, and at some point they cheat on me." That's a sinner. You say you got the mind of Christ. So you just drop your husband, your wife, and run to another man, and a sinner got enough sense to say, hey, I got something with that man. The reason being, people really don't know what marriage is about. See, watch this. Y'all done let the world teach you what marriage is. The, the first marriage that we call a marriage wasn't a marriage. All Genesis said is that Adam went to sleep, God took from his rib, made a woman, and then God brought the woman, which means God allowed her to cross his path. He was the one that chose her. Why is that so significant that God didn't say, here you go, Adam, this your wife? Adam say, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, and this is my wife. God didn't tell him, Adam, this your wife. So where y'all get God told me you my husband? Where y'all get God showed you my wife? Ain't nowhere in the Bible God showed nobody no husband or wife. Why? Because had God told him that, everything that was wrong with her, God would have been responsible for her. But guess what? Adam did it anyway. The woman you gave me, I gave me. God didn't give you Eve. You chose Eve. And that's what's wrong with a lot of y'all. You chose the person you want to marry, but now that you see they faulty, you blaming the person that you chose instead of blaming yourself. Because see, God said everything he made was good. But it's the choices that we make because we don't understand something is what don't make it good. Do you give such and such to be your honorable? That marriage junk ain't in that done, ain't in that done Bible. Ain't no wedding rings in that done Bible. Because everything was spiritual. It don't supposed to be no paper trail if you really love somebody. All you need to know is that's the person I chose. They got y'all talking about men hunters. So they got to pursue a woman. Man didn't have to hunt until after Adam fell. Everything else God provided. What I look like hunting a dumb piece of pussy? Now, back in my day, it all came to me, so hey, I can't help it. I ain't hunting nothing. Only thing I need to hunt is the heart of God. Verse 18, for surely there is an end, and thy expectation shall not be cut off. Hear thou, my son, and be wise, and guide thy heart in the way. Be not among wine bibblers, among riotous eaters of the flesh. For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags. You got to have that Cavassier. You got to have that Crown Royal apple. You got to have them mimosas. You got to have them tomahawk steak. That porterhouse. You know what that's showing? You have no self-control. That's why I say you'll come to poverty. Some of y'all spend so much on your money on fun that you don't even take care of your bills. You got to know the position that you in this season. One wrong move, one wrong attitude, one wrong word, you can be dead. Don't be like me. I have to go to sleep knowing at any time if I close my eyes, I won't wake back up. That ain't no way to live. But it's a way of life that you had to get through. How can a man preach a gospel of hope that has no hope? So that's why you got to realize when you pray to God in faith and God does the unbeliever in your life, why question what God done when it's what you wanted? You asked amiss. That's what happened. I've been known for 2 years I'm going to be in the exact position. But I didn't ask God what I will be doing when I get to this position. And see, the problem God has with me is sometimes I know what's going on, but I never say a word because I rely on him to take care of whatever he need to take care of. But I missed something. When you got a relationship with God, you are an ambassador on this earth. I can say the same thing that God would tell me to say, and it has the same effects because we want. And God trying to get you to the position or one. But you worrying about what number 2 doing, what number 3 doing, what number 4 doing, and now you trying to accept God's gift with what's the word I'm gonna use? With stipulations. All right, God, if this from you, this gonna happen. Don't you test God. This ain't the season. All of that gone. You got to grow up. But if you don't like the position you in, there's another position you can go. And you ain't got to worry about nothing till you leave this earth. And that's the world. So choose this day who you gonna serve. Because see, a lot of you've been playing with God too much. You've been on that fence too much. You sit around and laugh and talk, and that prophetic anointing you just dry rot. That gift of healing, the done fire about to go off because you worry more about how you look in the world than what you look like in God. My favorite word. Watch this. Proverbs, what is it? Whatever it is, 23, 27. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. She also lies in wait as for a prey, and increase the transgressors among men. See, a lot of these whores got you about to fight a man over a whore. But then you got the strange woman that's a narrow pit. See, the whore don't care what happens as long as she get what she want. That strange woman, she calculated. She narrow. Somebody got mad a couple of days ago. Asked me a question. I said, yeah, your wife a whore. And what you gonna do to me? Well, Brother Hubbard, I ain't think you say it like that. Well, don't ask me the way you ask me then. You know she a whore. You know what she doing. But watch this. What's his name? God told him to marry a whore. So sometimes you just gotta let a whore be a whore. Who that is? Hosea? Thank you, Holy Spirit. He said, he told Hosea, go get you one of them whores out there and marry. You know why? Because God was finna do something to somebody. So what he did, and that's what's wrong with a lot of prophets, God's mind was calculating between destruction and grace. Destruction. So he knew if he told Hosea to go get a whore, he know Hosea would do anything he can to protect that whore. And he did. Say he went and got her one night. They had, I guess they had ran a train on, and he found her. He picked her off the thing, wrapped her up, and took her home. Now you run a train on mine. Now I don't know. I ain't. Well, I ain't got now, so ain't got to worry about it. But if they run a train on your whore, that's your wife. Your job is never to question. Your job is to protect. And that's what God was doing through Hosea when he told him to go get you one. This is the way I want to protect my people. No matter what they do, I want them. She also lies in wait for a prey. See, a lot of women are assigned to you. They're assigned to you to kill what's in you. Now, some of them are assigned for transgressor. What's that mean? That means some of them are assigned for you to do what you wouldn't do, but you had to do it because this was your assignment to do it. Why was it assignment? I keep telling y'all, you ain't met the right one yet. I can say all day what I won't do. But who knows what if the right one come along? What you gonna do? Verse 29, who have woe, who have sorrow, who have contention, who have babbling, who have wounds without cause, who have redness of eye, they that tarry long at the wine, that they go to seek mixed wine. Look now thou upon the wine when it's red, when it give its color in the cup, when it move itself aright. At the last it bite like a serpent and stingeth like an adder. Thy eyes shall behold strange women, and thy heart shall utter perverse things. See, that wine got a spirit. So God is saying that your spirit is drunk. Your spirit is drunk for love. Your spirit is drunk for attention. Your spirit is drunk for conversation. Your spirit drunk for money. And we in this season that you looking down in the cup and it's red. Because you up all night worried about something. You see my eyes red? Y'all see them red, do you? Because I don't worry about nothing. It may come in my mind. Now I got a little bags under there. I done bought me some. I said, let me see, can I fix that? I don't worry about nothing. It comes in my mind, but I don't worry. I done been homeless enough, alone enough, and broke enough that I know what to do. You get what I'm saying? I know if it get too cold, I know how to go in the hospital and find one of them conference rooms and see if it's open. Go in there and lock the door and lay down and go to sleep. Now in that conference room, some of them, they got a bathroom and they got food, drink, and all that because it's a conference room. Now if they knock on the door or somebody open the door and catch me, you know what I'm gonna do then? That voice in my head told me to come in here because they trying to kill me. We need one for evaluation. I'm still gonna be comfortable because now you responsible to take me over to the Looney house and give me a 72-hour evaluation. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sleep, I'm gonna eat, and I'm gonna be married. Y'all better learn how to work. You see, when you got an illness of any kind, learn how to work your illness for what it's worth. You hungry and got nowhere to go and you got a suicidal spirit, I'm calling the suicide hotline. I need to shoot myself. Why you want to do? Where you at? Well, I'm at such and such and such and such. You gonna eat, you gonna drink, and you gonna sleep. My baby daddy be know me. You know how many homeless women shelter out here to protect battered women? So what's the perverse things that you are uttering? 34 say, yea, thou shalt be as he that lay down in the midst of the sea, or he that lie upon the top of a mast. They have stricken me, shall they say, and I was not sick. They have beaten me, and I felt it not. When shall I wake? I will seek it yet again. Some of y'all in a cycle. You in a cycle because you can't understand God trying to show you, but you keep blaming me. Stop asking God for the impossible if you're gonna question when when the impossible happens. See, that in itself shows you don't believe God. Stop looking for miracles. Stop looking for miracles if you want to sit down and analyze how it's going to happen. What is it, 8:35? I need me a milkshake. Y'all be blessed and have a good day.